everybody, this is Harpreet Kaur from English Rock Club, and I welcome you all to the second part of the explanation video of chapter Deep Water. So, why to waste time? Let's proceed. Now, in the previous part, we have learned that William Douglas started to learn to swim as he had already an aversion to water when he was just 3 years old. He had an unwanted, unexpected experience which made him have a fear of water. Then, when he was around 10 to 12 years old, he wanted to get out of this fear. So, he decided to learn how to swim at YMCA swimming pool. And further, he had a very bad experience, unforgettable experience with water. Again, he had a unwanted experience. So he was thrown by a bully who was around 18 years into the water, that too on the deeper end, not in the narrow end. So he had to travel down 9 feet. He traveled 3 times down. That is what he explained. He in this autobiographical way of his writing, he has explained all this thing. Okay, before moving further, I would like to ask you, if you like my channel, kindly hit the like button, and if you really like the videos, kindly subscribe to my channel so that you'll be getting the videos update. And don't forget to hit the bell icon and set it for all. So whenever we have videos, you will be getting informed about it. And I also have certain videos related to English vocabulary, IELTS speaking, writing, listening also. Kindly find it on my channel and do keep on coming back and back on my channel. So let's begin with the next part of the video. So next, we are about to start from here. The next I remember was lying on the stomach beside the pool. So this shows that William Douglas was saved. Okay, somebody saved him. Vomiting. The chap that threw me in was saying, "But I was only fooling." Someone said the kid nearly died. "Be all right now. Let's carry him to the locker room." Okay, so he was saved by somebody. He was lucky to be saved by someone. And several hours later, I walked home. I was weak and trembling. I shook and cried when I lay on my bed. I couldn't eat that night. For days, a haunting fear was in my heart. The slightest exertion upset me, making me wobbly in my knees and sick to my stomach. So these are the after effects of the drowning experience, how he felt after the drowning. Immediately after that drowning experience. Okay, so these are the after effects. He did not feel well, and he had haunting fear in his heart all the night. I mean, he started getting the same scene again and again while he was sleeping. So in this way, he was not able to have a proper rest. And even if he had the slightest, he wanted to do a very light job, light thing, he was not able to do that. He was so physically and mentally weak. I never went back to pool. I feared water. I avoided it whenever I could. A few years later, when I came to know the waters of Cascades, I wanted to get into them. And whenever I did, whether I was wading the Titan or bumping river or bathing in the warm lake of the goat rocks, the terror that has seized me in the pool would come back. It would take possession of me completely. My legs would become paralyzed. Icy horror would grab my heart. So these are the after effects on his life, after effects on life. Earlier we have read about the after effects immediately. Now these are the after effects on his life. He was not able to enjoy. He wanted to enjoy the water, but he was not able to enjoy that. This handicap stayed with me as the years rolled by. Okay, so I mean, he was not able to overpower the fear after some time. It says that when with the passing of the time, so he was we human beings are able to forget the things, but it was not in case of Douglas. In canoes on Mane Lake, fishing for landlocked salmon, bass fishing in New Hampshire, trout fishing on the Duchess and Metolius in Oregon, fishing for salmon on Columbia, at Bumping Lake in the Cascades, wherever I went. The haunting fear of the water followed me. It ruined my fishing trips, deprived me of the joy of canoeing, boating, and swimming. So it affected his social life. He was not able to go with his friends, he was not able to enjoy any activity by the water. So I mean, it has deprived him of many kind of happenings, many kind of happy moments which he could have enjoyed in the water, near the water, but he was not able to do it because every time whenever he went into the water, near the water, that experience of drowning in the swimming pool haunted him repeatedly. I used every way I knew to overcome this fear, but it held me firmly in its grip. Finally, one October, I decided to get an instructor. So he was firm, he was dedicated to get out of the fear. So he hired a personal instructor to learn to swim. I went to a pool and practiced 5 days a week, an hour each day. The instructor put a belt. So this is the first step that the instructor did. He put a belt around the author. A rope attached to the belt went through the pulley that ran on an overhead cable. He held on to the end of the rope and he went back and forth across the pool, hour after hour, day after day, week after week. Okay, so he was doing for weeks, they were doing this way only. One side Douglas was there and there was a pulley and a rope was attached, and the other side the instructor was there. So he was moving up and down Douglas into the water so that Douglas was feeling at ease. Okay. So on each trip across the pool, a bit of the panic seized me. Each time the instructor relaxed his hold on the rope and I went under. Some of the old terror returned and my legs froze. So sometimes every time when he was getting into the water, he was paralyzed. He was not able to move his legs because he was overpowered by the terror of the experience that he had when he was a child. It was 3 months before the tension began to slack. Began to slack means it started reducing. Okay, so it began to reduce. Then he taught me to put my face under the water and exhale and raise my nose and inhale. Okay, so further, second thing which he taught to the author was inhaling and exhaling, when to inhale and when to exhale when he was in the water and out of the water. So he told him when his face was under the water, he should be exhaling, breathing out, and when his nose, he's raising his nose out of the water, he should be breathing in. I repeated the exercise hundred of times, bit by bit. I shed part of the panic that seized me when my head went under the water. So it was not that Douglas was not feeling fear, but he was, feeling a little comfortable when he started going into the water. Next, he held me at the side of the pool. So this is the third thing that was done by the instructor. He held me at the side of the pool and had me kick my legs. So he made Douglas sit at the side of the pool and he was kicking his legs in the water. Okay? Douglas kicked his legs in the water. For weeks, I did just that. At first, my legs refused to work, but they gradually relaxed, and finally, I could command them. Okay, so he was able to move his legs in the water. Thus, piece by piece, he built a swimmer, and when he had perfected each piece, he put them together into an integrated whole. Okay, so in April, he had said, now you can swim, dive off, and swim the length of the pool, crawl stroke. Okay, so in this way, the instructor taught him small pieces of the things, and then he collaborated everything and made a swimmer out of Douglas. And one day he declared that Douglas knew swimming, so he asked him to swim across the pool using the crawl stroke. I did. The instructor was finished. Okay. So with this, the instructor declared that Douglas knew how to swim. So, but I was not finished. So here, William Douglas, the author, is saying that the instructor was satisfied that he has taught to swim, how to swim to his student, but Douglas was not satisfied. Douglas was not confirmed whether he was out of his fear or not. Okay, so he wanted to confirm whether he would be having that same panic attack when he would be entering into water. He was feeling comfortable in this pool, but he might feel uncomfortable and panic attacked him, and he was terror stricken. He would be terror stricken. So Douglas wanted to confirm that. For that, he did. I still wondered if I would terror stricken when I was alone. Okay, so what he did, I tried it. I swam the length up and down. Tiny vestiges of the old terror would return. But now I could frown and say to the terror, trying to scare me, well, here's to you. Look, and off I would go for another length of the pool. Okay, so this shows that initially he had a very small amount of terror in his mind, but he was able to overpower his terror and he was able to run across the pool. So this is the first thing that Douglas confirmed, that he was able to swim when he was all alone in the pool or not. This went on until July, but I was still not satisfied. I was not sure that all the terror had left. So I went to Lake Wentworth in New Hampshire, dived off the dock at Triggs Island. Okay, so here Douglas is telling us that he tried to swim at many different places. One of the places Wentworth in Hampshire, and then he also went to Triggs Island and swam 2 miles across the lake to the Stamp Act Island. I swam the crawl, the breaststroke, side stroke, and the backstroke. Only once did the terror return. When I was in the middle of the lake, I put my face under and saw nothing but bottomless water. The old sensation returned in miniature, in a very, very small amount. I laughed and said, well, Mr. Terror, what do you think? You can do it to me? I fled and swam on. Yet I had residual doubts. Even after, swimming at various different water places, various different seas, he was not confirmed yet whether he had got over the fear or not. So at my first opportunity, so in order to overpower this thing, so he wanted to find out, so he went to a certain place. I hurried west. He went to the west side of where he was living, went up to Titan, to Concord Meadows, up the Concord Creek Trail to Maid Glacier, and camped in the high meadow by the side of Warm Lake. The next morning I stripped, dived into the lake, and swam across to the other shore and back, just as Don Corcoran used to do. I shouted with joy, and the Gilbert Peak returned the echo. I had conquered my fear of water. Okay, so camping near the warm lake, Okay, and he tried to jump, he tried to swim in the water, and then he was really happy. So this echoing is showing his happiness that he was able to overpower his fear, and this is the confirmation for him. The experience had a deep meaning for me, as only those who know, who have known stark terror and conquered it, can appreciate. In death, there is peace. It's a very important line. In death, there is peace. There is a terror only in the fear of death. Okay? So everyone is afraid of something because they are scared that they will die. Okay, and but the author says here that the death, it is peaceful, but something that is disturbing the human beings quite often is the fear of death. As Roosevelt knew when he said, all we, this is a very important line, all we have to fear is fear itself. It's not that we need to be afraid of certain things, we need to be afraid of water or other things. But what we need to be afraid of to get afraid of something. Okay? So we should be afraid of getting fearful of something, because that thing is taking away all the pleasures of the from the life of a human being. Because I had experienced both the sensation of dying and the terror that fear it can produce, the will to live somehow grew in intensity. So he said that he has had the sensation, he had a near dying experience, okay, and he has experienced that. Then he had been living with fear for such a long time. But what made him success was the will to live. Okay, if he would have I mean forgotten about because of this fear, he would have taken aback, and he would have not had the willpower to overpower this fear, he might have not been able to enjoy the things that he was enjoying. So at last, I felt released, free to walk the trails and climb the peaks to brush fear aside. Okay, so here Mr. Douglas, William Douglas, has said that after doing such a long exercises for months, he was not able to come out of his fear. This fear had spoiled his whole life, his social life, his personal life. He was not able to enjoy the life completely, but his determination and willpower made him come out of this fear, and he was able to walk and climb the peaks because he did not have any fear of water then. That's all in this explanation video, and I will be meeting you with some new video lesson, explanation lesson, and we will also be meeting in the IELTS videos where we will be learning a lot regarding speaking, writing, and other aspects of IELTS. Hey, don't forget to hit to the like button and keep coming back to my channel. I am going to upload various vocabulary videos for you. So happy learning English with me. Bye for now.